Fresh baked, we've arrived at the top of the Mickey Friends parking structure for our weekly Star Wars Land update. Ian.
Yes.
They're almost done.
Just give or take a couple years.
Just a little bit to go. What do you see, Ian?
I see a couple new forms.
Forms where?
See the white crane that's forward?
Yeah.
Just to the left of it.
There?
Yeah.
Those are new? Oh, I see. On the second story,
yes.
kind of. Yeah, I was watching them build that stuff there, and then what's going on top of the Fantasmic storage building. And
all the way back to the Fantasyland entrance. Remember before you saw the stairs?
Yeah, the stairs. Hey, where'd the stairs go?
There's forms, so they can. There's
the forms are now in front of those stairs.
Can pour the concrete.
I see. So, I did not notice that before. Look at that.
So there was rebar coming out of those stairs that were confusing me so much.
Okay. So a few people have suggested, Ian, that what's happening up here at the top of the Fantasmic storage. By the way, those two people are Gina Lavender and Crazy Fuzzy. Crazy Fuzzy, I think, is like a legit construction worker because he's always got good stuff. But what they're doing here is building a second floor to the Fantasmic storage area.
It does look like it.
You said you could see them. They were pouring the concrete into the form where the wooden, walls. The wooden wall is now. They were pouring the concrete in there on Thursday when I was filming.
All right.
And it's their guess. Two people have guessed or have heard, perhaps, that that's going to be like wardrobe for cast members.
That would be a clever way to hide it.
Right. As opposed to that, what we were guessing, maybe that was what the that far building was going to be.
I'm wondering if the far building is meant to be a temporary way to hold on to better store the Main Street electrical floats that they shipped over here. Because right now they're in a tent further back.
You're going to build a whole structure for that, you think?
If they're holding on to them at a more longer period.
By the way, have you heard when? That's any dates?
Just sometime early next year. And right now they're sitting.
Not even till January?
Yeah, not till early next year.
Oh, wow.
And right now they're just sitting in a tent somewhere backstage.
Somewhere fresh baked, somewhere in a tent.
I'm not sure where
backstage.
The photos I've seen that were taken from, but people have taken photos where they can see them.
Main Street Electrical Parade floats.
Yeah.
Let's get back on track. So there's that. So it looks like we're getting a second story put in here of wardrobe or whatever, which should be interesting. I can't even get my head around that. But then again, I can't get my head around most of the stuff. Crazy Fuzzy also said they're putting in the bottom of the pool, you can see vertical rebar. Let's see if I can't nail in there, right about where the ladder is. Is that like in the middle of the pool? I can't tell where that is in terms of...
Our perspective is all out of that.
Yeah, I can't tell if that's...
It looks like it's more towards the wall.
But it's not against the wall.
Maybe it is. I can't see it. I can't tell.
But he's saying that's vertical rebar. It looks like he says they're going to start building inside the pool soon. That's fascinating. Like we're going to see actual, construction in the pool. Okay, moving back to the pool then, or moving out of the pool to the area alongside of it. We saw them, the spa they're putting in here. It looks like it's being connected now. Does that not look like they've dug it out, the dirt or whatever? So it's kind of in the same, no, that white wall I guess is still barricading it. It just looks connected now. Or at least there's two spas.
There's two saunas.
Or saunas or whatever, yeah, that they're building there. What is that stuff on the ground, the black, I've watched them put that down. That looks like it's their, that's purpose, I'm not sure what the reasoning is for that.
I mean, it looks like stuff that's just being laid out to be used.
Well, that's what I thought, but it looks like it's been embedded into the dirt a little bit. Can I push in further? Yeah, that's there. That's not just laid out. That's there with purpose. Because you can see it's all evened up.
Sure, some of it just looks like rebar laying down.
I don't know.
It's kind of like almost like a grid of rebar.
Fresh baked, I'll leave that to you then, I guess. That also looks like we're watching this through a weed plant.
This suddenly just got very artistic.
Yeah, right? I said it looks like there's more rockwork. Now, Ian, you think that the rock work that we're seeing
The
there.
dark gray stuff are the forms that are still just piling up to be used because they don't.
I don't know, man. I think that's where they're going to be. I think that's.
Some of that stuff just looks too kind of just whatever.
Well, that's how rocks look. What do you think?
I mean, it could be, but some of it just looks very strung out.
I think that's their final. Sorry, dude, I'm all the way zoomed in, so I'm sorry. First break. I think that's their. You know, let me get off. That's the final. Oh boy, that's the final spot for these. Did I just see the look at that? What is that? Is that the tunnel?
The old mine train.
That's the old mine train tunnel right there in the center of your frame. That dark spot. We could never see this before because it was always so bright. There was too much glare. We couldn't identify anything. But now that we're here at dusk, everything looks a lot clearer, even through the viewfinder. What is that? What is that thing right there in the middle?
Next to the forms?
No, the actual forms.
For more concrete higher
Is
up.
that just more waterfall? Like, do you think that it's like?
Well, I think that's kind of about the spot where the train moves away from the
Moves
river.
away from the
It's roughly around where the train will move away from.
Yeah, because we were at one time we were
Like
thinking maybe the
between
train
the
might go
valley.
over. We were thinking the train might go over the Fantasmic storage, but no,
That seems like
definitely not. It's going to be more along. It's going to start turning right about there.
or it'll turn. It'll have been going right. It'll turn left.
Right, and then turn left as it gets around these areas.
Just right around the corner of this Fantasmic storage.
Yeah.
And then over the bridges.
Oh, look, is that more rockwork back there?
So what do we need?
It is. The next thing, Ian, that I'd like to identify is this trench of wall they're building, the wooden wall that runs along. It looks like it's dividing the Battle Escape pool and the Millennium Falcon.
It seems like wood seems to go before the initial concrete base, which goes before the rebar, which goes before the forms and the rest of the.
Yeah, you're right. I think.
It's just because from what we've seen, that's usually how it starts. You start with the wood to get the initial concrete.
Do you feel like
rebar.
that's
And then
more
you do
a Millennium Falcon thing, or do you? Well, actually,
I
it
think
doesn't
that's-
necessarily
I
have to
think
be an attraction.
I think that's more just a wall barrier between one part of the land and another part.
All right.
Between the Battle Escape chunk of the land and the more village, market merchant.
Let's move on to Hungry Bear. Yeah. Sorry guys, I had to switch to B cam because I ran out of battery on the 4K camera, but on the Hungry Bear side. And I finally see, I haven't been able to see this until now, the beginning of that's the path right there.
Imagine the top of that concrete having essentially kind of a boardwalk down it.
Right, you're gonna walk down that thing alongside the Hungry Bear.
And then hang a left
And then, hang a left, kind of following the contour of the property, I think.
under a railroad into Star Wars.
Under the railroad and then into Star Wars Land. And you can see they still maintain the canoes.
But they're going to have a hell of a turn as soon as you get off the dock.
Because that's a quick right coming out of there, just like the train is too, though.
Yeah, so the queue's going to be okay, guys, immediately turn.
Yeah. There's your train exit right there. You got the retaining wall. By the way, you can also see from here that wall that we saw that we went down and looked at last week. That huge wall. Yes. By the way, you know what I did last week or on Thursday? I got in real close to that far wall back there.
Yeah.
The retaining wall. And I saw a man working on the wall, just one man.
What was he doing?
I don't know what he was doing, but he was the size of that. He was as tall as that shortest piece of darker wood.
The shortest one?
Yeah.
Like the one in the middle of the frame?
Yeah.
That's how he was that tall?
That's how tall he was.
And there wasn't maybe a dip in the dirt?
No. Does that seem right?
No, it doesn't. Maybe like some of the medium height.
You think maybe that one right there, the one on the left?
Yeah, that tiny one on the right is really.
Yeah, it could be. You might be right. I just remember thinking, what a tiny little man compared to that wall.
Oh no, still big. There's still a great sense of scale. I'm like, it's not that small.
Yeah.
This isn't Gareth Edwards' Godzilla we're talking about.
No, it's not. All right, guys. Well, there you go. I think that's it for our Star Wars Land update from Toppy Mickey and Friends. I'll be back this, in the middle of this week again to give you another acoustic view of what's going on, the constructionizing going on by all the constructionites. Thanks for watching, everybody. Fresh baked and stuff. I was just kidding, guys. We've been lured by this beautiful sunset, and also Elizabeth. She's beautiful in the frame right now.
Oh my God, stop it.
But anyway, no, we got one more stop to look. But isn't that beautiful though?
It is.
The sunset.
We
never get to see that.
Loading and unloading.
Yeah. So last week we were here to check this out. They're not working presently, obviously. So I watched them. They put a layer where the white stuff is.
Yeah.
They put a layer of black something last Thursday, and the guys were smoothing it out like it was pavement.
Right.
Now they put some white stuff on top of there. Why is it in sections like that?
I haven't the faintest clue.
Doesn't that seem peculiar?
Yep. Well, they've completely torn these up.
Yeah, but I forgot to notice they did this since then.
It makes sense because you're not going to load or unload over here.
They were digging those up
through here.
Those were all planters, weren't they?
Yeah.
I was, because I was like, when I'm walking down here this morning, I'm like, my view wasn't right.
Yeah.
I was like, they took out some trees or something.
Because when this is done, because you'll have more loading and unloading over here as well, this will be security that you walk through, and they'll have to put new planters over there.
So this is going to stay. You're gonna come out of these the escalators out here, go through security, then come over here to get on the tram.
Yes, though they could keep this end as well if they wanted.
He's pointing to this end over here.
Yeah, the existing
It's off camera.
Stuff. That way they just have even more space.
Yeah.
For trams.
How many security? We certainly wouldn't have a situation like we had this morning, where there was like 1 billion people for 6 stations.
I would hope it's just a big old circle of them, a bunch of metal detectors,
tons of them,
with tables right next to them for them to bag check you at the same time.
So these planters have been taken out. I'd like to know, constructionites, why this is done in sections like that. Why you have what it looks to be nearly complete sections, and then almost entirely incomplete sections.
But from what I've heard, this project should be done by the end of the year.
Done by the end of the year. What, this year?
Yeah.
Wow.
This isn't anything super, intense. It's it's mostly repaving.
Yeah.
And maybe putting some new lights and planters. But there's not a whole lot of new infrastructure that should be needed.
Somebody found a pile of dirt. We should have them move that over to Mount Spielberg.
That is the official storage area for all dirt.
Yep, that's where you keep the dirt. All right, so there you go, guys. Now we're gonna leave. Bye, Fresh Bake. Love you.
Bye.
I'm sorry, what was that? Gorgeous?
Bye.
Bye.
Love you.
We've got lots more for you guys to see, so grab a churro and watch our Star Wars Land updates with the Knothole gang, or maybe our Secrets in History videos. And we're now at Disney World, so please do subscribe and watch our adventures there. And don't forget, you can support Fresh Bake through our Patreon campaign and get some exclusive benefits in the process. Thank you, everyone. Fresh Bake!